Hi everyone, I'm Carlo Bova, here from Downtown Music here in Sydney, Australia. And today I thought I'd share a bit of my knowledge with you that I've had here in the music industry for over 30 years. One of the questions I get asked by a lot of people is, what is the difference between a guitar signal lead and a speaker lead? Or should I be buying, can I just use any lead to hook up my guitar to my amplifier? Now the answer to that is, no, you can't just hook up any lead to your guitar to hook up to your amplifier. And you just can't use any guitar lead to hook up your amplifier to your speaker box. They are definitely different horses for different courses. Now hopefully today, in this quick few minutes that I've got with you, I'll try and show you the difference. And if you do have any questions or anything, by all means you can email me through YouTube and I'll try and answer your questions. If we quickly look, this is what a guitar lead normally looks like. It's got 2 1/4-inch jacks on both sides. Cable looks like every other cable. Okay, now you can't see what that cable actually looks like, but it's professionally made and it's got some heat shrink over the cabling. So what I thought I'd do for you, we're just moving on from here, is this is a cheap guitar lead that comes with every guitar, electric guitar, usually comes in the box when you get it. I'm going to just cut the plug off for you because it's molded and I can't unscrew it. And if I just quickly shear this back, I'm going to show you the difference between a guitar cable and a speaker cable. There you go, that was pretty good, considering I haven't done that for a while. Now, let me just show you what that looks like. I'll just curl. Now that has shielding or an earth that doesn't have any wire wrapping around it, and then it's got a single cable through the middle. Let me just shield that off for you so you can see there's a bit of wire in there too. Now that is what a guitar lead looks like. It doesn't have to have really thick cabling because the current that is going through that is only millivolts and it's not handling much current at all. Okay. Now if you look at the difference, I've already managed to cut it up for you. Now this is a speaker cable. Now check out the difference. Here with this one, we've got a single shielded cable with an earth around the outside. And this being a speaker cable, we have no earth. We've got just 2 wires. It looks a bit like a electrical cord. It has 3 wires hanging out. Now this being a speaker cable, has 2 center cores. Now you'll find that the cable's slightly thicker. Now I'm just going to clip the top off for you so you can actually have a look at the difference. Now have a look at how much copper there is there. There's quite a bit of copper there in that cable. Now that is to handle a lot of current. So this being a speaker cable, this would go from your amplifier to your speaker box. Because this has no shielding around the outside, like this one here being a signal cable, if I plug my guitar using this cable, it's going to be very, very noisy. Or vice versa. If I use this cable here to plug in an amplifier to a speaker box, because there's so much wattage and current coming out of the head, you'll probably see this cable go up in smoke or catch a light, especially if you're using it with a 600 watt valve head into a speaker box. And eventually this will destroy the amplifier or destroy the speakers. Moving on, just quickly, so you can see the difference. What I've done here for you, things like, for example, these are the new speak-ons. Now this, as soon as I see a speak-on, I know it's for a speaker cabinet. But have a look, exactly what I told you a few seconds ago. That's a speaker cable. So what's it look like on the other? That's got banana plugs on it. But if you have a look at the 2 cables coming out of there, there's no shielding and 2 conductors through the middle that are both shielded, which is your positive and negative on your speaker cab. Going back to a speak-on plug. Save me ripping that apart, moving that over. Okay, sometimes you may get confused. You might pick up a lead that looks like this, and it does, similar to that first guitar lead I showed you. Now to me that actually looks like a speaker lead. If it's not marked, you're probably best not to use it, or the first thing you do is plug your guitar into your amplifier using this lead, and if you get a loud hum noise, it's a speaker lead. It has no insulation, so you're going to get a very, very loud hum. So me looking at that cable there, I don't even know what that is until I actually plug it in and work out what that cable is. You can use the same analogy of what I'm giving you here if you're wiring up your home stereo. If you're wiring up your home stereo, you've got to use speaker cable to run from your amplifier to your speakers. Once again, that'll be something that looks like that, or a figure-8 cable where there's actually 2 strands, heaps of copper to carry the current from the amplifier to the speakers. Also in your stereo at home, you'll have signal cables. Now, a signal cable is exactly like a guitar cable, but your home stereo signal cables will look like that. And they're called RCA plugs and RCA leads. Now, this will be going from your CD player to your amplifier, to your preamp, then to your amplifier. They're the leads. Once again, very flimsy leads. If you open that cable up, and I don't want to open that one up because I'm just going to destroy it, each one of those is going to look like that. Okay, and just to prove it to you, I've owned this cable for years. I took it out of a recording studio. This is probably some of the most expensive signal cable you could ever buy. Now let's just rip it apart and have a look what's in the middle of this. Now this is also microphone cable, but being recording studio signal cable, the insulation on this is going to be sensational, or should be. Ripping this apart a bit. Here we go. That should have come off, but I didn't clip it off properly. But here we go. Look at this. Okay, I'm just going to rip this outer core off. Now check that out. Even before I open the cables up, look at that insulation on that. Once again, this could be a guitar lead, a microphone lead, signal cable. The only thing it can't be is a speaker lead. Now let's have a look. Let's open it up. So that means we're going to have some sort of earth here. Okay. Now this having 2 center conductors. Sorry, before I go on, check that out. Now that's a bit of aluminium foil there that's used on the outside as insulation. Now that cable would probably be running through walls in the studio, and that is obviously just going to insulate so you don't get any excess noise through that cabling. But once again, let's just go back to the basics. Forget all the aluminium and stuff. There's an earth, and there's 2 signal cables through the center. Now, this is mic cable, or once again, don't let the 2 wires in the middle confuse you. If we just did that and joined the 2 together, now that's just become a guitar cable, where it looks exactly like that. See how we've got an earth and cable on the outside? So I'm just going to hold that up there, and I'm going to bring up the speaker one so you can see the difference. Then hopefully I would have cleared all this up for you. Here we go. Now that's a speaker lead in my left hand. Now check out the difference. If you use signal cables, use them between your instrument and your amplifier. Speaker cables need to have a lot more copper to carry the current through, and you plug those into your amplifier, into your speaker box. All right, I hope I've made that a little bit clearer. In the next few weeks, I'll actually be showing you how to make a guitar lead and a speaker lead. So do stick around and keep watching our YouTube demos. I'm Carlo, and once again, thanks very much for watching. Cheers.